This is the day to stabilize Detroit. This is the day to say, let's solve that debt problem. Let's solve that service problem. Let's create a Detroit that then can grow and flourish, because the growth of Detroit is critically important for all of us. Most importantly, for the hardworking, great citizens of Detroit that I view as my customers, that I was hired by them along with 9 million other people of the state of Michigan to serve. Let's get Detroit on the path to being a great city again, because that's critically important to all of Michigan. We are the comeback state in Michigan, but to be a great state, we need that path of Detroit being on the path to being a great city again. Today is a major step in getting on that path to say the downward spiral, it's time to stop. It's time to move forward. It's time to get Detroit stabilized and to grow.
Well, right now there's nothing for sale, including Howdy Doody. We in the city are giving a respite, some breathing room right now with the filing of Chapter 9 and the automatic stay. We put forward a proposed plan of adjustment on June 14th, which we thought would have addressed some of these questions, but also would have given our stakeholders the opportunity to come in and have discussions, and we're continuing those discussions. In fact, even yesterday and this morning, we're going to continue discussions with some creditors that we hope to be able to announce yet another settlement soon. So we're still going forward in the ordinary course with the city. We're trying to reach resolution with our stakeholders, and we're not going to address the issues of what we're going to sell, because frankly, that's an open item to be dealt with in the future. When I came in, I wanted to offer a sincere olive branch. I said that on March 13th and 14th. On the 25th, I reiterated that question and reached out again. On June 10th, when I had my open meeting, I said the same thing. Look, we don't have time. I need you to come in. We need to discuss. On June 14th, at the all-hands meetings of stakeholders, unions, and creditors, we had that. Some of these constituencies took that up. And in fact, I've announced recently some settlements, and we'll be in a position, I hope, within the near term to announce more. Some others, for whatever reason, despite my entreaties and my overtures for them to come in, decided to sue me. We stood by when both the governor and the treasurer, and most recently myself and the governor, were sued, and still continue to negotiate with those parties, to the chagrin of many people who said, when are you finally going to stop this? Because it could go on forever, Matt. And what I was saying throughout that time is, I've got an 18-month term to do a lot of work, and we do not have time to run in place as we would in an ordinary course to go forward. I made that abundantly clear. So anyone who thinks that I wasn't negotiating in good faith, when they're suing me, I ask you to look at that context, that your decision, instead of coming to the table with me, is to continually file suits against me. Who's not operating in good faith? We have a $1 billion budget, and as the governor said, 38% of that is legacy cost, debt service. Another 48% of that, or almost 80%, are fixed costs for police, fire, EMS, right? So we have approximately 20% that we use for everything else, every pothole, every snowplow, every garbage, everything else is about $200 million. Of that $11 to $12 billion of unsecured debt, if we took that $200 million and did nothing else in the city, another pothole, another snow doesn't get plowed, no garbage gets picked, did everything else within the city, it would take us over 50 years to pay that debt. So there's no way home from that equation. There's no amount of revenue that we could generate to try to address it. So we have to treat it in this fashion in bankruptcy, which is what's normal.
I don't view this as a terrible answer in the sense that now's our opportunity to stop 60 years of decline. This is fundamental. Has anyone liked the Detroit of 5 years ago, of 10 years ago, of 15 years ago? How long has this gone on and people had not stopped to say, stop kicking the can down the road and do something? We are doing something. This is the forum, this is the place to do it in. This is the place to deal with the debt question. This is the place to put a plan for improved services for the citizens. There are tremendously good things going on in Detroit outside of city government. Let's support those by resolving city government and getting on a positive path. So when you ask the worst case, I don't dwell on that. There's a lot of hard work, difficult work to do. That work will get done. And we will come out with a stronger, better Detroit and a format to grow the city, because the citizens of this, not only the city, but the state deserve it. And we're going to give them good service.